Hey everyone, so this is just kind of a cleanup day, not a lot of new stuff, just kind of talking about things that you could probably figure out on your own if you really tried. So start with the do now, pause the video, try it on your own. So an equation of the tangent line to the graph at the point 3, 4 is. So we have our point, we need the slope. So to find slope, we need the derivative. So this is a quotient rule. Right, f prime of x, derivative of the top times the bottom, minus the top, derivative of the bottom, all over the bottom squared. So we do need to plug in, we're plugging in 3, with our x value. So 5 times, let's see, 9 minus 3 is 3. 15 minus 3 is 12, all over 3 squared, 9. So we get 15 minus 36 all over 9, so that's negative 21 over 9, negative 7 over 3. Which makes sense since if I notice in A, B, and D there are 3s and 7s. Okay, so now I'm going to write the equation of my line. Y minus 4 equals negative 7 over 3, x minus 3. I'm going to get rid of my 3 by multiplying everything by 3. You can do this in a few different ways. This is how I do it. So that canceled out the 3 on the right side. Now I'm going to distribute. 3y minus 12 equals negative 7x plus 21. 7x has to come over here. And then the 12 over here gives me 33. So 7x plus 3y is 33, which is B. Not hard, kind of annoying, especially this would not be a calculator problem. You do have to do all that in your head. Okay. Differentiate the following. So this is nothing new. So just use your skills, find the derivative. So number 1 is just a basic one. 6x minus 9 plus 17 e to the x. Number 2, that's a product rule, right? This is my f and this is my g. Derivative of the first, cosine x. Second stays the same. Plus the first, derive the second. That's it. Number 3, again, just basic quotient rule. So h prime equals, just so we have space. All right, derivative of the top. So 6 secant squared of x times 18 minus 11x minus 6 tan x, the top, derivative of the bottom, which is negative 11, all over the bottom squared. And you can leave it like that if you really want to simplify. You can go through. The only thing I would probably do myself, if I was just doing this for me, was I would probably multiply the negative 6, and so put like a plus 66 tan x. That's probably the only thing I would do different here. I would leave everything else the same. Okay, so we've done our negative exponents, but we're going to practice with some fractional exponents. So start with number 1. So remember, rewrite it, x to the negative 1. We bring our exponent down front, and then subtract from 1. Negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. I then rewrite it, negative 1 over x squared. That is my answer. Again, I'm going to rewrite it. So that when I take the derivative, I get negative 39 x to the negative 4th. All right, my pen keeps, you know what, I think I need to charge my pen. Equals negative 39 over x to the 4th. I always just write it how they gave it to me. Like they gave it to me as a fraction, so I'm going to give it back in a fraction. Okay, so now our fractional exponents. So this looks weird, I know. It's x to the 2/3. The same exact rules apply. So the 2/3 comes down front, and then we subtract 1. What is 2/3 minus 1? Well, that's negative 1/3. And then you can leave it like that. It really depends. If we were to rewrite it without the negative, it could be 2 over 3x to the 1/3. That's the most I would do to it because they gave it to me in a fraction. All right, and then number 4 is the hard one. So we have, I'm going to rewrite it, negative 4x to the 2/5. So then the derivative, negative 4 times 2/5 x to the negative 2/5 minus 1 is negative 3/5. So we get negative 8 on top, 5 on the bottom, x to the 3 over 5, and then I'm going to rewrite that, negative 8 over 5, the 5th root of x to the 3rd. That's about as annoying as these get. I mean, we don't go too crazy with it. That's about it. Okay, so now here is stuff you see on the AP problem, on the AP test. So it's giving you that h is f times g, and it wants you to find h prime of 2. So we're going to find, we have h of x equals f of x times g of x. And it wants us to find h prime of 2. So we need to find h prime of x. What is h prime of x equal to? Well, it's just a product rule, right? It's f prime times g, derivative of the first times the second, plus the first derivative of the second. And now we're going to plug in 2. So h prime of 2 equals f prime of 2, g of 2, plus f of 2, g prime of 2. All right, so now I'm going to look at my table. So I have my 2's basically, right? I'm using table 2, or row 2. So f prime of 2 is 6, so 6. G of 2 is 2, so 6 times 2, plus f of 2 is our negative 5. G prime of 2 is 5. That's an F. So 12 plus negative 25 is negative 13. Get used to these, they're not going away. So if that was hard, we're going to practice these more, but we will spend time this year doing these. I don't think they're that hard. Okay, so this is all the things that I recommend memorization. 100%, definitely all the trig. And then the e to the x. These, you can do them without memorization. You can write x to the 1/2, and then take its derivative, 1/2 x to the negative 1/2, rewrite it. But honestly, we use it so often that these two, I would just say I recommend memorizing them. The derivative of 1 over x, negative 1 over x squared. So if you had like 1 over x plus 3, it would be negative 1 over x plus 3 squared. I think memorizing that's really, really helpful. Okay, so on the test, basically it's all of chapter 2. We did average rate of change, instantaneous rate of change, definition of the derivative. So on the test, if it doesn't say, you can use all your rules. But there will be 1 or 2 problems, I can't remember how many. Use the definition of the derivative to do this problem. You have to use the definition of the derivative. If you don't, I'm not giving you any points. You get 0 points if you don't use the definition. You have to use the definition when I tell you to on the test. Otherwise, you can use your power rule, product rule, and all those things. Okay? All right, that's this lesson. So for review, page 217, AP problems 1 through 10. And that's it.